Good evening, everyone. I'm Leah Cooper with your JCN News for this Tuesday, November 24th. Deputy Prime Minister and Minister of Finance Peter Turnquest says he's focused on his portfolio as the Minister of Finance, despite what some may say is looming over his head with regards to a bogus loan scheme fraud allegations that surfaced last week, which Minister Turnquest has since denied. Speaking with the media for the first time since those allegations surfaced, the Deputy Prime Minister says as far as he's concerned, he's focused on getting the country through this global pandemic. Here's what he told reporters when questioned about calls for his resignation.
I think you guys have known me for at least 8 years now, most of you, and I think that you know that I'm focused on what I do. I'm very disciplined about what I do. The matters that are circulating out there are unfortunate. They will be dealt with in the due course of time. But, you know, again, I'm focused on working for the Bahamian people while I have the opportunity to do so. And I'll do my best to ensure that we get through this crisis. You know, again, we'll see what happens. But as far as I'm concerned, I'm focused on the work of the Bahamian people.
As for what his ministry is doing and will do with just about 6 weeks remaining in the year, the DPM says his ministry is due to put its fiscal strategy report before Parliament on the 3rd of December, which will outline the country's challenges and the responses to those challenges.
But, you know, I think it's no secret that this is a difficult challenge and difficult time for the country. And so we'll do the best we can. We'll, as I say, put our report before Parliament and have it scrutinized by Parliament. And as we go into the new year, looking forward to a rebound, hopefully with a successful vaccine treatment protocol that will allow tourism to come back and start to flourish again so people can go back to work.
As for a vaccine, the minister says a deposit has been placed by the government to secure a vaccine developed by Oxford University and AstraZeneca that shows a success of 90% so far.
So the government is a part of a consortium of countries in the region through PAHO that has sought to pre-order or to put a deposit on potential vaccines. I don't know that they have determined which vaccine they intend to use yet, but by us participating in the program, and the Minister of Health would really be the one to speak to this, but by us participating in the program, it guarantees us a certain number of doses of the vaccine once it becomes available. So it was an effort to try and be proactive about that and ensure that we secure a source of vaccines once they become ready. 4
vaccines have now reported good results from late-stage trials. Oxford University and AstraZeneca's vaccine is the latest to prove highly effective at stopping people from developing COVID-19 symptoms, and it's much cheaper to produce than Pfizer and Moderna and could have a bigger impact on the world. The country continues to see a decline in COVID-19 cases. However, our neighbors to the north, the United States, has been seeing record-breaking numbers on a daily basis. And despite this, the U.S. Centers for Disease Control and Prevention published a level 4 from a level 3 travel advisory warning its citizens traveling to the Bahamas. But Minister of Tourism Dionisio de Aguilar says the U.S. travel advisory issued is no different than the one issued at the end of July. However, he says the advisory is concerning.
It's all about timing. When they released the do not travel order at the end of July, it's very unfortunate because up to the end of June, we've been doing so remarkably well in terms of our management of the COVID pandemic. And once again, this is a question of timing. At the end of October, we were not doing terribly well. Here we are a month later, we're much better. So we're hoping that the Americans see fit to do a reassessment as they see our numbers improve and see fit to change that rating.
Back in July, when the advisory was issued, according to the Ministry of Health's COVID-19 dashboard, on the last day of that month, the country had 574 confirmed cases and the death total stood at 14. When asked if he thinks it's ironic that the U.S. has issued such an advisory when their numbers are twice that of the Bahamas, the minister says this.
The level of COVID, the death rate, the positivity rate in the Bahamas is half that in the United States. So it's much better here than there. However, they will always respond. You can issue travel advisories, we can issue travel advisories. So there's no point in fighting that. We just have to improve and continue to improve our numbers and ensure that we keep our numbers respectable, so they then see fit to change that rating. Obviously, we depend on the United States for almost all of our tourists. So it's very, very important that in their eyes, we change our status or our level of community spread. Because if they change that rating, then that will, of course, be positive for the Bahamas.
Several mega resorts are set to reopen in the coming weeks, which is a positive move for the nation's #1 industry. That said, Minister de Aguilar sends this message to all Bahamians.
If we maintain these numbers, and this is why it's so important for the Bahamian public to do what they need to do. Please don't party. Please don't congregate. Because if you contribute to a spike in numbers, this rating or this warning will persist. And we are heading in the right direction. Our numbers are coming down, and this will then lead to a change in that travel advisory.
Education Minister Jeffrey Lloyd says the national exams are expected to be given the first week in December, and his ministry is doing well and growing with their technology. Despite schools being closed in April, the national exams were set to take place on July 13th. However, an unexpected spike in cases forced the ministry to suspend the exam dates once again on July 21st until further notice. Minister Lloyd then announced that the national examinations was due to continue on Monday, September 14th and end on Friday, October 2nd.
So we are doing well. We are progressing, and we are happy that we are. We are continuing to invite parents to please come and get those devices in the cases and instances where they have not done so. You know, the results are due out in a week and a half to 2 weeks, in the 1st of December, and those we expect to be, as they were promised, on time.
Minister Lloyd also mentioned that they are improving every day in New Providence, as there is now closer to 70% in regular school attendance online. Also, the government is well advanced in securing a tablet for every public school student.
With our technology and securing internet access on all of our schools and satellite buildings, we are now closer to 70% of school attendance on a regular and consistent and sustained basis.
Minister Lloyd says the government is moving as quick as possible to in-person learning, as they hope to activate their hybrid model or face-to-face model. In crime news, police are currently investigating a police-involved shooting incident. We're told that police on Abaco responded to a domestic dispute in Pelican Shores Marsh Harbor. Upon arrival, the officers were accosted by a male believed to be involved in the dispute. He produced a shotgun and shot 2 of the officers. One officer was shot in the stomach and face, and the other was shot in the stomach. The officers drove themselves to the clinic and are being treated for their injuries, which are described as non-life-threatening. The suspect was also shot and was transported to the clinic, where he is being treated. Investigation into this matter continues. You're watching JCN News. Stay with us.
This segment of the news was brought to you by Alive.